So friends, today I was doing one gap assessment session with my PgMP course alumna. She has exam in next coming few days, and generally before the exam we do readiness assessment, gap assessment, and do the final strategy discussion, tips and tricks sharing. And during this session with this alumna, she asked me this question, and this question is very generic question. I think so. In most of my gap assessment session with my PGMP student, with my PMP student, with my even PFMP certification student, they generally have this one common question where they ask, out of the four options for a given question in the mock exam, they are very easily able to eliminate the two wrong answer, but deciphering between the remaining two, which one is correct and which one is incorrect, that is where generally they have a lot of struggle. And she asked me, this alumna asked me, Kailash, is there any exam tips or is there any exam tricks which I can share with her so that she can be more confidently pick up the right answer among the remaining two choices. So friends, this is what I gave her some 4 5 key strategic approach so that she can pick up the right answer in the exam and she can pass on her first attempt. The first strategic advice which I gave her is map the question to the program life cycle phases, because PMI often wants you to know the program life cycle or when certain activity happens during the program life cycle. And the both the option, the remaining two option can sound very valid sometime, but only one belongs to the right phase of the program life cycle. If I give you some example, see, if the exam asks you a question or exam asks you something like that, you want to seek program executive buy-in or program steering committee buy-in, that this question is mapped to the program definition phase, because generally executive buy-in or program steering committee buy-in, this happens during the definition phase. Even in the definition phase, if to be more specific, if they say that the initial buy-in, the initial or the high level program steering committee approval, then it happens via the program charter during the formulation phase. But the final decision to go or no go decision to execute the program, to start the delivery of a benefit, that happens during the program planning sub phase of the program definition phase. So if they are saying that final buy-in of the program steering committee or executive buy-in to go ahead and start delivering the program benefit, then that is more precisely to be the program planning subphase activity. Also, if the exam is asking a question something like tracking and optimizing benefit, if you see some question focusing on where tracking the benefit matrix, tracking the stakeholder support for the benefit realization, then probably this question is mapped to the program delivery phase. And if the exam question asks you about lesson learned for organizational use, for archiving the program artifacts that can be used within the organization in the future program, so such scenario is generally mapped to the program closure phase activity. So the first advice which I gave to this alumna is always when she is confused, try to map the question to the program life cycle and to the specific phase of the program life cycle, because those exam question or the activity or the scenario that defined in the exam question is generally belong to one of the phase of the program life cycle. Remember that program life cycle has 44% of the PGMP exam question weightage. But more importantly, even the other domain question, whether it's a strategy alignment domain, whether it's a benefit management domain, even those domain activities are specific to the program life cycle management. Those are they are specific activity of program strategy alignment is performed during the formulation phase, specific activities performed during the planning phase, and show us in the delivery and the closure phase. So once you're able to map every domain activity to this program life cycle phases, you will certainly will have more probability of that question getting right. Now, the second advice which I gave to this alumina is proactive versus reactive. See, PMI loves proactive, preventive, and strategic action over firefighting solution. See, between the two close options, the one that sets up the sustainable governance, that engages stakeholder early, or maybe manages risk before escalation, usually the right answer for that particular question. So please always be proactive. Start engaging the stakeholder early, managing risk before escalation, because escalation related keyword will be 90% of the time will be a wrong answer. That is, I can confidently tell you. Of course, unless and until the exam categorically says that all other options have been applied, has been tried, and there have been no solution is not coming, then there is a problem kind of thing. Then maybe you can select the escalation. But otherwise, I feel be proactive, ignore escalation, ignore avoidance of any actions. Such things should be, because all those things are reactive, where you are not taking preventive actions, where you are avoiding certain conflict, where you are first resort is going to steering committee support. Don't select those options most of the time. So don't be reactive, be proactive. The third advice which I gave to this alumina to reach to the right answer is program versus project lens. See, friends, always ask, am I solving this as a program manager, or I am sliding into the project manager shoes? Because PMI almost always wants the program perspective. If the option smells like the project deliverable, then be suspicious. Okay, that's very very important. You are a program manager, because I've seen that a lot of these PgMP aspirants, they have still not come out of the project management role. They still maybe the lack of experience into the program management role is a reason of getting confused in selecting the right answer. So be always look into the program manager lens. Be solve the question from as a role of a program manager, and don't slide into the project manager shoes. That's my another strategic advice for you to eliminate the wrong answer. The next advice which I gave to this alumina is the benefit realization bias. See, friends, between the two dissent actions, which one pushes you for the program and toward benefits delivery, benefit sustainment? That is the right answer. PMI always frames the program manager uh, as a guardian to benefit realization, rather than just managing the scope or delivering the solution. So remember, the benefits are the program deliverable. So always see that where the questions are sliding you toward more strategic approach, where aligning those benefit to the strategic side of it, where focus is more on the benefit realization rather than delivering some tactical solution, or individualistic approach at the project level. So avoid those individualistic approach, rather have a more benefit realization approach, that benefit delivery, benefit sustainment, those kind of approach. If the answer has, then that will be your best choice for the correct answer for that particular question. And one last advice which I gave to this alumina is the language trap. The language trap is basically nothing but where always watch out for absolute keywords such as always, never, or answer that sound like more of a again a firefighting situation. The exam rarely reward extreme or reactive move unless the scenario demands a very urgent fix. So what I want to tell you, don't fall into the language trap. Look into the even those absolute keywords. Sometimes those absolute keywords becomes a distractor to pick up the right answer. So that is the another very important advice which I want to give it to to all of you, and that's what I gave to this alumina as well. So these are the five key key advice which I gave to select the right option, and it's always easy to eliminate the two wrong answer out of the four options, but for remaining two, this 5-step advice may most of the time may work. Other than that, I want to tell you, friends, don't be very generic. Don't be very generic in your response. Don't select a program management plan. Instead, if select the benefit management plan or benefit realization plan. See, if exam ask you about the approach to benefit realization, approach to benefit sustainment, do not select the integrated or a abstract plan which is called program management plan. Be more specific. Be specific to if the question is related to benefit life cycle related concepts, so go into the benefit management plan or benefit realization plan, whatever is the option given. Don't be generic and abstract answer such as program management plan. Similarly, even the phases, be specific to phase of whether it's a formulation, whether it's a planning. If they ask you, the steering committee wants to they are looking for the scope to find whether this program is the right choice to continue to make an investment, then don't select maybe the formulation phase. May select the planning phase of the these are the two sub phase of the program definition phase. Because when it's talking about scope related work, remember the detailing of the scope to continue to make investment into the program, because there are there are some decision points which has been defined into the program roadmap, and during this decision point program steering committee will always assess whether what is the scope. Scope is nothing but these key milestones which are defined into the roadmap. What are these key milestones? Whether what are the benefit realization has been done so far, among the milestone which has been delivered, whether it makes sense to continue to make the investment. So these are more specific to planning phase. Okay, because the initial scope will be done during the formulation phase. There was no keyword called initial or high level investment decision to make into the program. When it's saying that they are reviewing the scope to make a decision to continue to make the investment, then it's more in the planning phase artifact where the roadmap will be updated. And remember, roadmap is a integral component of the program management plan. So this is very important, friends. Please, if you take this advice in your PgMP certification journey, then I'm sure that most probably you will get above target score in your PgMP certification exam. So that's all I want to tell you, friends. In this small strategic advice session, I thought let me share with the larger community, so it may benefit if you are preparing for the PgMP certification exam. So friends, I hope this session has been useful. This video has been useful. My name is Kailash Upadhyay. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I am a PgMP mentor. I have helped more than almost 750 plus PgMP professionals to get PgMP certified. And also, friends, I am an author of a book called Excelling Program Management, a PMI PgMP, study companion. And I have received great feedback from the PgMP aspirants who are using my book to prepare for the PgMP certification exam. They have gave me excellent feedback and the love I have received toward my book, and I'm thankful to this community who is using my book, and I will love to hear your feedback on my book as well. And do comment me in this video or in this post if you need any specific advice, if you need any support related to your PgMP application, or if you're looking for one-to-one mentoring, group mentoring, then trust me, friends, the session with me will be one of your best learning experience of your life. That's my personal commitment to each one of you. So that's all from me at this point of time. I'm sure that I will come back with some another important topic. And if you want me to talk about some topic related to the PMP, PGMP, PFMP, then please just drop me a comments. If you need any advice, let me know. I'm sure that I will have few of the best guidance and recommendation and advice for you in your certification journey. Please take care and all the best to you. Thank you. Thank you very much.